recording right now.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
I'm all nervous we have an audience right now. Cool. So yeah, we'll just chat. But I'll. And if you have to go to the washroom, you can just get up. Just let me know. I don't mind. We'll stop. It doesn't bother me. Okay. So anyway, Dave Petko, thanks for coming on my show.
Hi.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. So you're coming on. I'm glad I bumped into you at the Arc'teryx thing tonight.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think that some of those shows are like, you live in Function. I don't get out much. I used to go to a lot, and then one of those shows bring kind of everybody into town. Like, or not into town, but all the people that live in town, they have nothing else to do.
They bring people out.
Yeah, it's like a congregation without like the religious part.
Yeah,
unless you're like religious about snow and stuff. But those events are great, and I can jump into it. You were there doing the Arc'teryx thing is like a big backcountry academy. If nobody knows, it's gone now. So wait till next year, I guess. But you've been kind of like a staple in those art shows in town with the festival. The Ski Snowboard Festival.
Yeah, for a bit. Yeah, since year one of Brave Art, actually, which was at the Whistler Gondola Barn.
What's that? Oh, what do you
under
mean?
GLC.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? What was that?
Not in the Gondola Barn, but in the same building, and it was where is it G1 Rentals now? That's under GLC.
Yeah, but what was that?
Guest relations.
But what was it? What was in there before? Like, is it always been a rental place, or what was it?
It was always a rental place. Yeah.
Oh, and they would clear it out.
They cleared it out for, I guess, like a weekend.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Brave Art kind of came in.
Oh, is that before the conference center was built?
No, the conference center was there.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Right.
But the World Ski and Snowboard Festival wasn't as big then. So this was the very first kind of underground art show.
Right. When was that, like the 70s?
Yeah.
That would have been like probably before my time, but yeah, because Brave Art's still, the festival's been around for, it's not around anymore, but
this is like, I think, 99.
Oh, okay. So not like crazy many years ago.
No.
A while ago.
No. Yeah, a while ago.
And then so ever since, because I think I know that relationship with the festival and stuff and art stuff was not always the smoothest. Mm-hmm. But you've been part of it pretty much the whole time, or you were part of it pretty much the whole time, right?
Yeah, except maybe the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, because it hasn't been
the festival of the art show.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you so someone comes to you, I mean, I've been part of it and they go, hey, why don't you put your art up? But how do you back then, even now, how did you choose? Were you I guess back then your library of art or your catalog might not have been as big. I don't know. Did you paint a lot of art for that specifically, or would you just bring in what you had?
No, I brought kind of stuff in that I had that I thought people would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that I liked that I thought people would like.
Right.
Yeah, I was painting a lot of weird stuff back then.
Were you?
Yeah, and it was kind of the subject matter all over the place.
You don't paint weird stuff now? Can you move this closer again? Sorry, buddy.
I kind of do, but not as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Influences from then and now. Like if you're painting stuff, I guess. I mean, you've seen Whistler over the last. Would you say you've been here for 28 years?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty dope. We can get into you being in Function the whole time, except for 1 year. It's crazy. But what your influences back then? I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I figured your influence back then. Obviously, a bit of less of a history, obviously. But what were your influences back then? Was it ski, snowboard? Were you in?
I was snowboarding a bit. I was more into mountain biking.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Back then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that what brought you to Whistler? Where are you from?
Originally Sarnia, Ontario.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, I came out west just for summer vacation and stayed. Kind of got stuck in Vancouver.
Okay.
Got a job there, doing what I had gone to school for and had a diploma in, which was screen printing.
Oh, no
so I started screen printing at a place called New Age Graphics downtown on Richards and Robson.
Yeah. And you were into art then, or you just didn't know, or you just kind of?
I was into art.
I guess.
Yeah, I was into art. I was painting before I left Ontario,
right. Cool.
And I came out west kind of to pursue my dream of being an artist.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you North Shore mountain bike guy? What were you doing when you were mountain biking? Was it
I wasn't mountain bike. Well, I biked around Vancouver a bit. I was a bike courier for a little bit.
Cool.
I had friends that they would bike the North Shore. I didn't bike it too much.
Right. It's pretty rough back then. I did it maybe in 2001. I did it a couple times. My brother lived down there for a bit, and man, I didn't really mountain bike.
It was really freaking gnarly.
Yeah, it was
kind of
like
Dangerous Dan was building those trails where you'd, ride
skinnies and shit,
really skinny and like 10, 15 feet in the air.
So insane. Cause you'd had like fucking like hockey, people had like hockey gear on to hit like, oh, man, I don't know how those guys still alive.
And
some of them.
Full suspension bikes were just being made, and mountain biking was still just in its infancy, right?
I mean, the geometry, everyone's over the handlebars and stuff, and you think about now, it's like everyone's like way back. But
and that was before like Brett Tippie and Wade Simmons and those guys were doing the free riding.
Yeah, because that wasn't until like, I guess that was still like mid 90s, I guess, when that started to become popular or make a bit of a move. But did you live on the North Shore or did you live downtown?
I lived in East Van.
Oh, right, cool.
Yeah.
That's always kind of been like an artist like zone, I guess, because it's kind of, gritty and stuff. But it's kind of feels like, I haven't been to Vancouver in a while, especially East Van, but I'm sure it's way different now.
It's getting a bit gentrified, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think Gastown kind of creeps down the way there.
Yeah.
So then when did you move to Whistler? What year was that?
About 90. I think I moved out west 94, almost 95, and then spent a year and a half there, and then came to Whistler.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said you said you moved to Function right out of the gate.
Yeah. Well, I got a job at Toad Hall Studios printing stickers.
Wow.
So I was the sticker department.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was printing on an old office desk.
You probably have. So when I first came here, I was like 15, and I bought stickers from Toad Hall. It was the sun.
The sun, the mushroom, the moon.
Yeah, and it was like this little hallway shop. I don't know if it was
that's Santini. That's where Max Fish's coat check is.
Yeah, so it was like a little hallway shop, and I'm like, this place is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I was like a snowboard guy back. I skied snowboard. I had like a race board and like bindings all pointed forward stuff. And and I remember I stuck my step boards in there. It's like an old Rosin Alpine board, but it's got these 2 Toad Hall studio stickers on it.
Yeah.
Did you think you made those? Maybe.
I may have printed them.
Right.
Yeah.
Who did the artwork back then? Who did
Stu Mackay-Smith did the artwork for those stickers.
Okay, cool.
There's also Pete Malashitz. Goldfinger is his nickname. Right, okay. He just lives in the building over here.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he's still with Toad Hall.
He
has the kind of gray long hair.
Yeah.
Looks like me like 20 years from now or something.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy. Yeah, I see him all the time.
Yeah, Pete's a great guy. Stu's a great guy.
He's like the smallest dog I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, that's fucking funny, man, because it's that store, and just like there was
that was the smallest store in Whistler at that time, and it probably still is. Like you could do this and put your arms out and touch both walls.
Yeah, it was kind of like a straight shot to the back, and it was like, I remember the white walls, and it was just kind of like, it was almost like I think it was like a, I don't know, just small. It was like almost like a. It was basically almost just like it's pretty much just a sticker and t-shirt shop, I think.
Yeah, that's it. T-shirts and stickers.
Wow, totally.
And I think they sold airbrush T-shirts as well.
Right,
that Pete would airbrush in the back of Toad Hall.
Fuck. I just had this vision, just like this long hallway and a sticker that I bought.
Yeah,
and that's all I really have. And that at the time, I guess, like the base of Black Ohm was still pretty much like a hotel and nothing else, I guess, in the chair and stuff. But that's memory, man, for sure. Like, wow, it's crazy. I didn't know. And Toad Hall's, that's like, Toad Hall's still around. That's crazy.
Yeah, Toad Hall's still around.
Jorge
still kicking.
He's still his shop, right? Was it his the whole time?
It's his and Sean Bondaroff's, and then they have a silent partner.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, that's
He was
crazy.
a
That's cool.
Olympic gold medalist, hometown boy.
What? In what?
Yeah, downhill skiing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do I not know this?
And he won gold on Whistler. So,
wait, in 2010? No,
before. I think he won gold in Whistler.
Maybe not for the World Cup. Maybe.
Was there, maybe
because there was no Olympics before. 2010 was the first Olympics here, right?
Okay, so I'm wrong.
I'm not trying to tell you about history. You know more than I do, but that's crazy, man. Yeah, because like some of those things I think about, like when I see you around, and I think, oh, Dave's been here forever. And then, but you never think about like where the history is connected, right? Like where people, you've been here for 30 years. But I never thought about what you would have done when you first got here. You know, I never think about that. So this guy probably knows everything about this town. But now Toad Hall's in Function. You're still in Function. Yeah. Now you're still. You said
the reason why I lived in Function when I first got here was because I drove out west with my Volkswagen van, and I was living in it in Vancouver for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then. When I moved up to Whistler, I asked George and Sean, like, can I park my van out front of Toad Hall and I'll just live in my van for a bit?
Yeah.
And that turned out to be like 2.5 years I did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when van living was like, everyone was like, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. It's like cool to see because like you're still here and like I love Function. Like I don't really go past Creekside unless I have to go grocery shopping. But there's like those. I feel like Arnie's not here anymore. Arnie Gutman, who was on my podcast a while ago. But like, there's like Function Junction diehards. Mm-hmm. And do you get like what's that thing where you like when you can't handle open spaces? What's that?
Agoraphobia.
Do you get that when you leave Function?
Not really.
No,
not really.
I think it'd be weird to like, because when I go to the village, I'm like, you just get used to it not being busy, and you get used to just seeing like your face every day or something all the time. I mean, I was in the village yesterday. And I was in Creekside. I'm like, Creekside's the absolute worst at 3:30 in the afternoon. But then you come to Function, and it's pretty chill. So much going on. It's
definitely has gotten busier, man, over the last 10 years.
Wait, so when you is Toad Hall, but they weren't in that spot they're in now. Were they back then? Because what were
okay.
What wasn't there?
Forecast Coffee.
Super meta Function shit, but that's cool.
Yeah, Forecast Coffee.
Yeah.
That back in the day, that used to be Miller Creek Cafe.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there's a little shop, I think, on the corner, and that was Toad Hall. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Or else they were in the electronics shop beside, because there's a secondhand like electronic repair shop or something there as well.
That place.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I bought my TV there, my first TV there.
Yeah,
that TV probably still works now. I bet it still works now. That thing was awesome. Covering stickers. Wow.
So they were there.
Yeah.
Printing, and that was where Toad Hall started, and then they moved to the warehouse space where they are now.
Because when I first came here, Function was like the road, the highway was kind of closer, and it's all kind of grown over now where it was. But like that whole end wouldn't have even been there. Like even where like Coast Breweries and stuff now, that stuff wouldn't have been there, right?
That was there when I got here.
Right.
Home Hardware wasn't there.
Well, how was that when Home Hardware came to town? Was it like, wow, we got Home Hardware? That must have been like a Home Depot and Squamish kind of deal.
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck. Such a long time ago.
I remember getting off the bus the first time I came to Function. I'm like, where am I?
Yeah. It's such a weird...
I'm just out in the boonies.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because there would have been...
There was no like traffic light there. There's a stop sign coming out of Function.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, the roads were still dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the compactor wasn't there. The Reuse It Center, Rebuild It wasn't there.
Nothing was there, eh?
Yeah.
What about...
The dump was across the way where we are now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking dump, man. Smells good. It doesn't smell too bad over here still, though. It's good.
Yeah,
That's so we get our hot air or our hot water from now, though. All that toxic stuff under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love this history stuff about Whistler. So, and then so you've been there in Function. So when did you have it? So Dave's got a tattoo shop called Black Ohm Tattoos.
Yeah.
I have it now. You that,
I have it now. I didn't start it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how that history goes ever, but you were there from the start of it, right? Or no?
Yeah, I was there from the start of it. Yeah.
And did you apprentice there, tattoo? Did you?
I apprenticed. I apprenticed with Black Ohm, but I think at that time it was Till Death Tattoos.
Oh, okay.
And Sonia Prevost started it. Okay. She's still in town. She's still tattooing a little bit.
Right. Okay.
She's mainly like working as a nurse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. I see her in emergency if I need to get stitches or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I go to emergency a lot. So then how long ago was that?
23, maybe 24 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So it's like, yeah, right. So that would have been the good snow year, 1999.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Yeah. Damn.
Quite a bit back then.
That's great. So then, and then, so, now you own it.
Yeah.
And, how long's that been for?
Maybe
5 years, 10 years?
7 years, 7.5 or so.
I got my second tattoo from you. I don't know if you owned it then or not, but I think that was probably 2007, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you owned it there or not, but still got it.
If Robin, yeah,
still got it. Still got the tattoo.
If Robin was working then she owned it.
Yeah, she gave me the next. So I went back again to get more work done on my leg, and she did that stuff.
Okay.
So
yeah, she would have owned it then.
Yeah, right. And then she's left. She's gone from town now, right? Doesn't here anymore, or is she still here?
Yeah, no, she's in Gibson's.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, she's got a little hobby farm there and family.
Yeah, the tattoo business in town. I mean, it's you're probably that shop's the original, right? As far as the shop goes.
Well, Clayton Johns had some artists working there.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Right.
some Aaron Kane.
don't know
He's
any.
big name.
Oh, really?
Steve Moore was working there.
Okay.
Craig Driscoll.
Right. So a lot of people come through that,
Yeah.
and they've gone to just probably.
Well,
There's-
Steve Moore's, he's getting world known for his tattoos, for his big color work
really?
and illustrative pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
I see stuff online right now. I jump around a lot. I get ADD, but I see stuff online right now, and some of these tattoos look like they're almost like fake. They're so colorful, like so like bright. That doesn't last long, right? Like,
Well, a lot of that is just polarized filters.
okay, the photo they took with it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So it's not true to what the tattoo actually looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks good on Instagram, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have people working for you right now, or do you do solo stuff, or do you have anybody there?
I have artist Steve Kretz,
Okay.
who's working with me.
Right.
And then I just got an apprentice.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It must be like the reason why you came here. People like there must be a lot of artists who come to town. There's like the TNT guys, I guess, and there's like Whistler Tattoo, and there's
Poke Heart Piercing.
Yeah.
There's A-Line up in Pemberton and
Electric
Method
Uprising for a
Tattoo.
bit.
Yeah, Electric Uprising.
He's in Squamish now, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
Squamish, Brackendale area.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
you must get a bunch of people come through. Like, how often do you get somebody come through wanting to work or be in it? Like, is it frequently you get artists come through who are trying to, take up a life
As
here?
far as work, I get requests every now and then.
Yeah.
And I was getting a lot of email requests for, say, apprenticeships.
Right.
Um,
Hey, Frank, you okay, buddy? Dave's dog is here,
yeah.
trying to find a bone in my couch.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's like, nobody had come through the door though and
Right, okay.
actually met me in person.
Right.
Steve did.
Yeah.
And he brought a portfolio,
Oh, cool.
which had like a lot of artwork in it.
Right.
And there was one piece that caught my eye. I'm like, is this an original? He's like, yeah, it's watercolor. I'm like, wow, your line work's really good.
Right.
I'm like,
That's the thing.
yeah.
Is like you got to be an artist, obviously, but like, I see? Obviously, we talked about your artwork and your tattoo work. I mean, what's your balance? I know you have a tattoo shop, but you're also, a successful artist. Where's your balance at? Like, I mean, obviously, art helps influence your tattoos, and you probably, vice versa. But where's most of your time lie right now? Because you have a business, I guess. But how do you find time for both?
Well, during COVID, I stopped tattooing in order to produce a body of work for a solo exhibit.
Okay.
And then I produced a body of work for another solo exhibit, and they're kind of back-to-back exhibits. One was in Whistler for January and February.
Okay.
And then March and April, I had one down in the city.
Okay.
So there's 31 pieces of work for my solo exhibit up here, and then I think 13 or 14 for the one in Vancouver.
And does that art, like I've seen your art around hanging in the brewing stuff, does that, like I see that you like, people will want that art on them.
Mm-hmm.
You get, how often does that happen? Do people come to you with like, hey, I want you to just design something for me? Or do they come in and go, here's what I want? Do you do that much?
Yeah, I will do both.
Right.
Yeah, I have a background in kind of like working at street shops,
Oh, cool,
like
okay.
Black Ohm Tattoos. We were
walk
kind of
in,
a
I want
street
an
shop,
anchor
but we
out.
did custom work.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I will kind of do what the client wants, but
Yeah.
if they come in with not really an
Whack
idea or just a theme,
Yeah.
then I can draw something up for them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I feel like, Function wouldn't get a lot of like foot traffic for that. Like, hey, I want to get like an anchor on my ass or something.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
no. Back in the day though, when we were like the shop in town,
Yeah.
we would get people coming down and just, walking in
Yeah.
and
Cool.
checking out the shop. And yeah.
It's crazy. It's been there for so long. I mean, you see businesses come and go, but I mean, that's kind of, Black Ohm's like a legendary place in town.
Mm-hmm.
It's been there since way before my time, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rent's reasonable. We're not $150 a square foot like the Village.
Crazy, right?
So that affords us a bit of time to do, other artistic endeavors.
Do you store? Like if you said you do these like exhibits, where do you store all your fucking art? Like you just like
The tattoo shop, at home, on the walls.
right.
Yeah.
Is it like you like a kind of art hoarder? Is that all your stuff's all in your house?
Some. Tanya doesn't let me keep a lot of stuff there,
Right.
or she'd rather not.
Yeah.
So I tend to keep it at the tattoo shop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
that's
a
cool.
lot of stuff there.
I mean, it probably gets people that come in like, oh, this guy's an artist. He's got like, it probably helps you just showcase your art just to people that come in, right?
Yeah.
Not just like,
Yeah.
you're not just like filing it away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How-
And then the brewery's good for keeping art in too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
the
I see
brewery,
our stuff
the
all the time.
brewery
It's like
walls.
cycle through.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They have, I don't know how many small, I'm sure a lot of ski towns do it, but it is cool that you can, get I don't know what you call it, like a showcase or whatever you do where you can like go hang your art at like Mount Curry, or you can go hang it. And how much of those impact your business as like as an artist or a tattoo artist? Do people come in and go, oh, like, does it move stuff? Does it move product?
Yeah. Well, I've had my art at Whistler Brewing Company now for
Forever.
man, over 5 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome to me.
Yeah.
They don't take commission.
Oh, that's good.
And I've sold quite a bit of stuff
Right.
through there.
Right.
When Coast Mountain Brewing
Yeah.
opened,
Yeah.
I walked by there the day of the opening,
Oh, cool.
and I'm like, Kev, you have blank walls, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I have some art that would fit this place
Right.
beautifully.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure, bring it in, Dave.
Cool.
So I was selling like 1 or 2 pieces out of there almost a day.
Wow, really?
For a month.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And then that's spawned on the whole like monthly or bi-monthly
Right.
art exhibit at a Coast. And it's been a big success.
Yeah, it's surprising
Yeah.
to me how many people like. There's always someone different in those walls. I'm like, and I know there's a lot of artists in town, but I'm like, and I've been here for a few years, and I'm like, I've never heard of this person, but I have awesome shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how this, not out of the woodwork, but you just get exposed. I think, you think everybody, you think there's a lot of artists in town, but you forget there's people just doing art, and all of a sudden they have this.
Yeah,
concept
not
in front of them.
showing it. They're just doing it as like a
Yeah.
pastime or
Right.
a secondary passion to skiing
Right.
or snowboarding or biking or
Yeah.
whatever their first passion is.
Right.
And they just don't have an outlet for showing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, it's funny to think too the influences too, because you think you'd be in a mountain town, a lot of stuff would be like, oh, I paint trees and I paint these things and stuff, but there's some wild stuff that comes in there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's that dude, I know what he does. It's all like, I think it's all digital, but it's all like heavy metal, like artwork. It looks like like
That's
Slayer.
Tom Bunny, isn't it?
Yeah. That stuff was really cool. I know that
Yeah.
stuff I would never have known. I'm like, oh, that stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you get people that come across from the brewery kind of drunk and go, I need to get a tattoo?
I've had some people
And you're
come to the shop,
"Get
and
outta
you
here."
could tell that they've had 1 or 2, and
Right.
yeah.
Give me a back piece.
I'm like, come on back when
Yeah, because you guys
when you're
have,
sober.
you were talking about insurance the other day, but there's like an artist or a tattoo code and like probably some legalities behind like you can't, like, people under the influence. I guess back in the day, way back, people just nobody cared. But
Back
now,
in the day, that was kind of the norm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how it's the business? It's regulated pretty strongly now, right? I would guess.
Yeah. The health inspections are definitely,
Right. It's even like, I guess there's like restaurants have health inspectors. I'm not saying it's a restaurant, but like you're obviously more like of an invasive type of business to these people, right? So
Yeah.
how often does that happen? You get like once a month?
once
or-
a year, man.
Okay, right.
And the
Seems like not a
shitty
lot.
thing is
Seems like not a
they call up first, or they'll email and say, we'd like to book a time to come in.
Oh, so anybody can
And-
pass at that point. Not anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I told my health inspector last time, like, would you just like show up
Yeah. Right.
unannounced? Because then you can see the studio as
Yeah.
it is on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And like, who knows how many studios they are doing that to.
Right.
And they're like frantically cleaning up and
Yeah.
getting a sport test done for the autoclave, et cetera, just so they can
Right.
pass the inspection.
It's
Like,
an autoclave.
it's like a sterilization unit for sterilizing
Oh, like a
needles
membrane
and
thing?
tips and tubes and stuff.
Is it hot? What does it do? Is it boil it? Well, I think is it?
Well, there's steam autoclaves,
Okay.
so it gets up to say like 250 degrees for
Right.
a certain amount of time,
Right.
and nothing will live in that environment.
Right. Okay.
And then there's chemical autoclaves.
Okay. I thought maybe
Yeah.
like a UV one or something like that because you can like treat UV with it. But I guess that's probably too.
I haven't heard. I mean, I've seen that for like keys and coins and stuff like that, but not for like in the medical industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there must have been stuff back in the day people just show up. Like, I guess it's good that they have, obviously, the people come in and inspect like that. But yeah, it seems weird they would schedule it. It's kind of like drug testing. They say we're coming tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's like, sorry. But yeah, I guess that's like, have you ever, I've seen people get their eyeballs tattooed.
I've seen that.
Fucking sideways fast.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who's done that before? Has
personally.
anybody ever asked you for that?
No.
What is it? I mean, is it like?
No, I think that's quite a niche thing. You know, like not a lot of people are doing that.
Sounds like a blind. If I was blind, I might do it.
Yeah. From what I hear, it creates pressure on the eyeball.
I could hear that.
It's not a pleasant thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And also from what I hear, it's just like 1 or 2 like pin pricks to the eyeball, and then that ink just spreads out.
God damn, man.
Yeah.
A bunch of weirdos doing that. Do you have any experience with like, I've seen friends go to like, I don't know, like Thailand or wherever, they get like the
stick and poke.
Stick and poke, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like research, or do you like, I'm going to go get a tattoo? When you want to get a tattoo, do you like, I'm going to go, is it like research for you, or do you go find somebody who's like I want to get from this artist? I know some people just follow artists around, they get only tattoos from the same person. Mm-hmm. But do you have anybody who's like somebody you like? Do you seek out an artist for yourself, or you're like, I want to get this, or how do you get your tattoos? I mean,
I've seeked out artists before.
Do you do your own?
I have done some of my own. Yeah.
For practice.
Yeah. Back in the day.
How do you practice? How do you practice? Like when you're trying to, do you like a balloon or a pumpkin or something?
The very first tattoo I did on Robin, my coworker.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, and I colored in a piece that she had outlined on her arm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That seems like
I didn't do lining first or anything.
No, I mean, because you gotta be person's gotta be confident. You
find some good friends, some good cool
like
friends that know what they're getting into, and they donate a piece of skin, because tattooing pig skin and that fake skin and stuff, it's not the same as tattooing a like human skin, like especially with someone that's alive. You know,
I got mine done, and the guy was like, "Your skin's really shitty for tattooing because you get, I guess, it reacts really fast and swells up really quick." Mm-hmm. So I had to go back for a bunch. No offense, I didn't get it from you, but like, it gets like it swell up really fast, and you had to do like short sessions.
Yeah.
So I guess, do you go, hey, maybe you shouldn't get yellow, or you shouldn't? People kind of have. Can you kind of tell when people want color? You're like, maybe can you tell if someone's skin's not going to take a color properly?
If they have like darker skin pigment, sometimes they won't, they'll take the color, but it just won't show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you use white like a white skin? Yeah. Does it last long?
It lasts. It's usually kind of blotchy. Right. It's not like a smooth field of white.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your what's the biggest piece? Have you ever tattooed someone's whole body? What's your biggest piece you've done?
No, I've tattooed a full back before.
That takes a long time.
And a full sleeve. Yeah, full sleeves. They're pretty big, especially when you
spread it out.
Yeah.
What's
it's almost the size of like a thigh leg piece can almost be the size of a back.
Okay, I have a question for you. So like they call the elbow the ditch, right? Is that what they call that in the ditch? And I feel like there's like if you're a true tattoo artist or somebody wants tattoo and you get a piece and you don't get it done here, you're kind of like, it's like not cool. Like it's like if you get an armband, it doesn't go under here. Yeah. It's like being a wuss. Do you ever tell people that? This really hurts. Like I got mine here and there.
I don't tell them that they're wusses.
I mean, lack of a better term, but like maybe more diplomatic. But like, would you be like, you should get all the way around because you're getting a tattoo?
I think a lot of that is for healing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for healing the tattoo, like getting the elbow. I know some artists won't tattoo the elbow.
Right. Okay.
It's excruciating.
Yeah, I hear you.
And B, healing the elbow, healing the ditch. Yeah. They're just bendy areas, and a lot of the time, if you're putting a line through there, it's going to crack. It's going to spread out. It's not going to heal well.
Yeah, I had mine done, and I went to get a burrito at Delish, and it was still wrapped up in plastic. It was hot out, so I biked over. And I came back and I was sweating. I'm like, oh no! And I had this plastic on there, and it all got infected. I had to go to the doctor and get antibiotic stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be ruined. But yeah, I guess healing is a huge part of it.
Healing's like half of it.
So I see how people are like some guys I see are here like just don't cover it. They just let you go home, and they just put this cream on and stuff. And then some use like really tight medical, almost like tape that goes on. Like it's like saran wrap.
Yeah, it's like Second Skin or Sanoderm or something. Yeah,
Sanoderm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you do, Sanoderm, or what do you do?
For smaller pieces, I'll use that. Or say for a first tattoo, I'll use that.
Yeah.
Depending where on the body it is.
Yeah.
I'll also use like, kind of like Vaseline, but is not. And then like the old school freezer wraps.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll ask my clients too, like, do you have a preference? And
Right.
people with like, some people with tattoos that know how to heal, they'll be like, oh, just give me the regular
Right.
old school way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. The big back piece, like to sit for 9. How long do you go for? Do you ever like a 9-hour session? Like, what do you?
No, go like 4 or 5.
Yeah, because your arms get tired, your concentration goes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen some tattoo artists will wear headphones while they're doing a tattoo, and I'm like, don't you want to talk to the person you're tattooing? Maybe the headphones put them in the zone, I guess, or music, whatever. But I feel like the tattoo, if you're gonna, it's good. Like you connect with the person because you're like
Yeah,
sorry, but you're like tattooing them, and then you're like a conversation, like you gotta chat with them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that must be
some clients, they'll just keep coming back and coming back.
Yeah.
And like a decade later,
yeah.
you're tattooing a friend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You have something to talk about.
Yeah.
It must be weird meeting people and like not knowing them and they're just going to put like sit with them and hold
Some
them.
of the small ones, like you might be tattooing someone for half an hour and then you'll never see him again. Yeah.
It's kind of cool though, because your arts travel around. It's
Yeah.
going around the world for sure, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any? Do you have people who come to Whistler, like they're kind of come see you and they like travel to town, get a tattoo from you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That must be cool. Just
Yeah.
I want to get my work done from you. It's
Yeah. I have a style, I call it graphic landscape,
Yeah,
and it's kind of like the pieces that are at Whistler Brewing.
Yeah, cool.
And I've had people come to me strictly for that.
Yeah, I think I've seen
And I
some
think
of
that's
those.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the images on Instagram you show of like how that piece is in Whistler Brewery or
Mhm.
like whatever. Yeah, that's definitely a good sales tactic for sure, like you're saying earlier.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I came up with a bunch of those designs for tattooing.
Yeah.
And I've tattooed quite a few of those pieces. And then I asked the client, like, do you mind if I make prints with it? They're like, no, go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
It seemed like over the years you've gone from like this seems like more, I don't know how to say it, not like symmetrical, like geometry style art. It seems like I looked at your website and stuff and I've seen it seems like you've gone from like more like darker images and stuff and like, crows and skulls and stuff to, and maybe I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm way off base, but to more like
Nature based and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you calming down a bit? Did you go from like metal music to like
Yeah,
classical or
I mean,
something?
I still listen to metal. I still listen to like the Melvins and kind of grunge and that.
But I guess art styles
I think
change over time.
I've become less angry.
Right. You seem pretty friendly now. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good. Yeah, sweet.
yeah.
Funny. Yeah.
And there's a lot of drug use back in the day as well,
Right,
like
yeah.
psychedelics and stuff. So
I think I met you at, never mind.
I think that influenced my art. The kind of music I was listening definitely did.
Right, for sure.
The 60s.
Right. Yeah, 'cause I want
definitely
to ask
did.
you about influences and stuff because I mean everybody's got them, and you said some psychedelics and stuff, but you said the Melvins and everything. So, do you get influenced by other artists more, or music, or movies, or just like in your head you wake up like, I dreamt about this, and now I'm going to put it on someone's arm.
Yeah,
or
kind of
paper.
everything, man.
Right, yeah.
Everything, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think that's an interesting one because I think and I mentioned music before. Like when you're painting or when you're doing work, do you need to like psych up to do a tattoo, or when you're painting, is there music on? Are you trying to get like deep into it? How do you kind of stay focused on the art you're doing?
There's almost always music going on.
Right.
Yeah, when I was screen printing, there was music going on.
Right.
A lot of music. When I was painting, a lot of music going on.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a TV for about 15 years when I first came to town.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of music.
Do you are you like a guy? Do you sit in silence? Do you have like demons you can't deal with, or will you like sit there and think, or do you always have something going on in the background?
No, I think at home it's probably 3/4 maybe silence and then some music for background.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out like where I'm at in life and stuff, and just the way I think and everything. And I've been trying to sit in silence because I don't usually have that. I always have podcast or music going.
Mm-hmm.
And I find like you end up with incomplete thoughts or incomplete like just movements forward in life. And so I'm curious when artists work, because you start a piece and you hope you have a direction where you're going, but I'm always curious where the influence is, because I know like writers and stuff, they'll need to sit in silence and just think about something for a long time, because you can't be distracted, because you want your mind to work and not just be consumed.
Yeah.
So I was curious about that, because you must have pieces. Do you have pieces you haven't finished because you just lost interest in the middle of it, or you're like, I can't?
For paintings, you're talking about?
Not tattoos, because people get choked if you didn't want to finish their tattoo, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'm choked because they don't come back, and they might leave town, and it's like, where did so and so go?
Oh, like you
half done their tattoo, and
really?
Yeah, they left town.
I mean, this place is a hard place to live, man.
I wish I would have finished that piece. I really liked it.
Maybe it's either tattoo or rent, I guess, right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Food or tattoos.
Yeah.
For paintings, though, there has been some that I've not finished.
Right.
Yeah.
I think of like guys like Bukowski and stuff who just like go in this rage and they write and they get crazy stuff, and then there's artists who are like super chill and mellow. And I'm just curious about that, because I would feel like I have lots of things I write a bunch and they're all half written.
Mm-hmm.
It's motivation, I guess. But okay, so you just did we talked about it earlier. Let me jump back a bit. You did this thing for Arc'teryx in that show. Do you have what's your next shows coming up? What do you have going on? You got anything planned, whatever?
I don't have any shows planned right now. Well, yes and no. Nothing definite. I do have a body of work that I've just started.
Yeah.
I think like January 1st, I started to plan a solo exhibit for maybe 2015.
2015? 2025?
Or sorry, 2025.
Yeah.
What year is it?
Yeah. Dude, let me know your secret. You're going
what
back
day
that far?
is it?
I want to go about 2015. That'd be great. And then you do, when you say a body of work or you have like a thing planned, is there a theme? Like if you're like, I got to make 20 pieces or whatever it is, do this. Do you have a theme you run through, or you just start to paint a piece? That one's cool. That one's cool. Like if you're going to make some art for an exhibit, or maybe for an exhibit, do you, like I said, you kind of seem like you've changed a bit of your art, your influences. Do you set, like, I'm going to make 10 pieces about this or whatever?
Yeah, this next show will kind of all be similar.
Right.
Yeah. And I've done all the little thumbnail sketches for them.
And you scale it
which
up?
are just like tiny little sketches.
Yeah.
It's usually how I start,
Right.
and then I scale it up.
Huh.
Yeah, and they're not going to be paintings. I'm not going to say what they're going to be.
Cool. Fine. Thanks for ruining the show, dude. Yeah, because I think like I think that's, it would be kind of like all over the map to try to come up with like 10 or 12 different ideas, but if you have a theme, it probably makes it, I'm going to say easier, but it gives you a path forward to paint and space, or whatever, not paint, whatever it's going to be, if it's sculpture or something like that, or
like if you come up with a theme like in your head and it's a word, then you can, all the pieces could be, geared towards that theme, or based off that theme.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
keeps it interesting.
When you get commissioned or stuff for art, how often do you get, what kind of direction do you get from your clients? They're like, hey, paint me something? Or is it like, I want like a skull with a crow on top? Not that I've seen your work before like that, but.
Yeah. Well, one commission comes to mind, and it was a blue heron.
Okay.
Yeah. Or a gray heron, I guess.
And they're kind of both, right?
Yeah, they're kind of,
kind
of the same.
Are they not different animals? I mean, I know the birds, but are blue and gray not different? Are they different? Do you know?
You're asking a city girl.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. I thought
they're probably different.
I mean,
different names, but yeah.
Right, cool.
But it was that bird in a style of like my graphic landscape.
Okay.
Cool. And I had like free reign to come up with something.
That would stress me out. If someone like, do what you want, I'd be like, I don't know. Because you'd be like, you could give them like, I'm going to do this, and you're like, this isn't what I had in mind at all. You ever get that?
Yeah.
I guess not for tattoos.
No.
You can't really do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever turn people
usually,
away?
like if someone comes in with a theme,
yeah,
say for a commission,
yeah,
or even for a tattoo,
yeah,
I always ask them like, "What's your favorite color?"
Okay, right.
Because you can't go wrong having your favorite color on you.
Yeah.
And then it helps with, say, contrasting colors and complementary colors.
If someone said purple, you know that you're probably not going to use brown.
Yeah,
use something
yeah.
close
I
by,
mean, you
right.
could use yellow because it's
Yeah.
opposite on the color
Right.
wheel.
Yeah.
You could use magenta. You could use indigo
Right.
and blue.
What are the three primary colors?
Red,
Blue
yellow, and blue. And then those three mixed together create brown.
Right. But you can make every color from those three, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can even make like a chromatic black.
Is black isn't a color though, is it? Or is white not a
No.
color? One of them's not a color.
They're both not colors.
So what are they?
One's absence of color and one's kind of like all colors.
But you got to use something to make the white, right?
No, white is white.
Yeah, but it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from anyway.
Well, titanium.
Yeah, sorry. Right. But all the colors here don't make black.
No, they make brown. But you can. I
Someone's
learned
fucking
from
lying.
Laurel Terleski,
Who's that?
kind of local artist. I
Okay.
think she moved to Nelson recently, but
Right.
she taught me how to make chromatic black, which you mix like a Alizarian crimson,
Totally.
like a phthalo blue.
Phthalo blue reminds me of Bob Ross. Always
Yeah.
the phthalo. He always says phthalo blue. I'm like, that phthalo blue is like a little bit of phthalo blue. And you're like, dude,
Yeah,
looks great. Good job.
burnt umber, and
Yep,
I think there's
same, Bob Ross.
a orange in there too.
Okay, right.
And you mix those 3 or 4 together,
Right.
and it's such a dark pigment. It's
Right.
it's not black, but it's chromatically it is the darkest color that you can mix.
Because I used to
And it's
work.
probably like a super dark brown.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to work for Arc'teryx, and the color team, they would do like what color the jacket's going to be. And I guess they invented some like urban camo where it was like the most it was like a gray, like a kind of lighter, kind of chalky looking gray.
Mm-hmm.
But they said in tests it was the most I'm gonna say, I don't know how to say it, but like it blended in with like a cityscape the best of all the colors.
Oh, really?
And it was like this, like kind of like the color of your hat. So if you walked through the city, it would look like you weren't wearing a hat. But it was like
That'd be weird. That'd be
yeah.
kind of cool, though.
Yeah, so
Walking
it's
through
like-
the city and they can only see your face.
just flat up here. Like, yeah, but like it's I never like there's when you're thinking of color and stuff, like, yeah, I mean everything you do do you know what, if you're going to do a piece like a painting, do you know what colors, if you're going to paint, I mean you're doing it for a long time, so you probably inherently know what's going to work in some places, right? No.
There's some paintings that
You get a happy surprise. Is that
There's
what Bob
some
Ross says?
paintings where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a yellow, a red, and a blue, and they're gonna be really weird,
Right.
like colors.
Yeah.
Where the yellow might be almost like a beige yellow, not a bright yellow.
Yeah.
And let's start mixing those and see what greens we get and see what purples we get and see what like oranges we get and browns. And we'll just, play around with those 3 colors. I never would have picked those 3 colors to create all my secondary colors and tertiary colors and everything.
Have you learned like color? Did you you went to school for screen painting? Did they teach you like is there color theory?
No, not there. I learned a lot of color mixing when I worked at Toad Hall because they had Pantone books, and it'd be like this sticker is like three of these Pantones,
Right.
so mix them.
And
And I'm red green deficient, so I see shades of red and different shades of green, kind of different than
Right.
people that are not. It's kind of like a color blindness, but
How do you find that out?
I'm not.
Someone goes, dude, it's not red. You're like, yeah.
I
it
was
is.
tested at the optometrist.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, years ago.
I wonder if I am. I wonder if I think things are blue and they're not blue at all.
Yeah.
Do you know like the typical, when you're colorblind, what are the typical colors you're blind from?
Well,
makes
for me,
sense.
it's. I think there's different variations
Right.
or intensities of color blindness.
Right.
I'm definitely I'm reds and greens are my thing.
Imagine everything was black and white or gray when you saw it.
Yeah,
be
or
fucking
browns or something, or all
Everything
shades
was
of
everything
blues.
was like a bright yellow. Everything, that'd be fucking weird, right?
Yeah,
That'd be insane.
yeah.
I'd have to keep. You ever seen like metaphysical glasses where they're like yellow or like that help you with digestion and shit? Have you seen these before?
No.
There's like these glasses you can get in different colors are supposed to like aid with like different parts of your like red light, blue light, all this stuff. And they say this yellow it helps you with digestion.
Oh,
Probably wacko thing I've heard before. I don't even know if that's true, but I've heard it.
yeah.
But I guess, I mean, color emits emotion for sure. But I wonder if it does change.
There's whole psychology behind colors.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and what colors we like that we're attracted to when we're, say, 1 to 5 years old, what colors we're attracted to when we're adults, and everything in between.
Like, it's like they say, like, police pull over more red cars than other color cars. Because my first car, when I was 15, my mom bought me a fucking 87 Camaro.
Nice.
Piece of junk. But the guy was like, you should paint it black because it's red and it's Camaro. It's the cheapest car. I couldn't afford much, so I got this car. And I'm like, it was a hilarious car, but that's a longer story. But anyway, so I get this car, and they're like, you should paint it black because my insurance was cheaper. And they're like, the cops won't pull you over as much. The cop thing didn't work out so well. I got pulled over a ton. But I don't think it was the color of the car that mattered. But
speeding or
just whatever.
Swerving.
Yeah, swerving. Yeah. A smoke machine. But yeah, like it's funny because like they say some colors make you hungry and stuff. I mean, the color theory must just go on and get through a labyrinth of that, I guess, right?
Yeah, I haven't read too much in it. I read a little bit, but not like I haven't dived deep into it. I think it'd be super interesting though.
Well, they have whole departments like even at Lululemon, they have whole departments that talk about color stuff, right? And how people like what works with what. I remember like they would say, we're going to make this nice, they would make a certain color of a product line because it looks good in the store. But then everybody just come in and buy the black jacket. But the yellow one got you in the store. The bright yellow one in the windows, like this one looks beautiful, it's cool. And you're like, but next year it's going to be a weird color, I'll buy the black one. So you still make a ton of black jackets, but you'd have these other ones that sit in the store that bring you in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they get you in off the street.
Yeah, I guess like a balance of like retail tactics and just these color theory stuff. But they would say, yeah, like this color catches your eye, but no one's gonna fucking wear it. But then they'll buy that black jacket. Yeah. Because I think, I mean, how many people you see around town just wearing black jackets? Yeah. You don't wear much color stuff, do you?
Not too much. I'm starting to a little bit. Right. I was wearing black for years though, and my whole psychology behind it was I work with colors every single day, and I don't want to have to start looking at colors and try to match like, what goes with the red shirt, what goes with the beige shirt or whatever.
Someone around here bought
a lot of the time it's just easier, just black shirt, black pants. And I
mean, there's obviously simplicity behind it for sure. Yeah. Someone around here bought one of those fucking bright lime green Jeeps. You seen that thing around here? I think I might know the person. I'll probably shut up, but who does that shit? It's so weird, man. I guess like, and there's
someone that likes lime green.
You can't like it for that long. It's the life of a car. Must be a lease. You can get rid of it in a couple of years. But you know what's funny? When you see people like in like matching suits, like pants and bottom, like the weird like these crazy patterns, and you see them on the mountain, they're like, do you go up on the mountain much? Do you snowboard a bunch anymore?
I don't have a pass this year. I decided not to.
Right.
Last year I did, and for the first 10 years of my time in Whistler, I was getting up the mountain. I had season's passes.
Yeah, this year's been a slow year for me. I've been up like maybe 15 times. And usually it's like, I mean, I was away for a while, but anyway, yeah. So you see the people with like it's like those crazy color patterns.
Or those metallic ski suits.
There's no way they're wearing that the next year again. There's no way you're wearing that 2 years in a row. I can't believe that's the case.
Yeah.
Because you just look like, I mean, people have their own choice. I don't make fun of them. Well, that's fucking weird. And that's the thing. The guy didn't buy the black jacket. He bought that weird thing that got him in the store.
I think it's more of a statement piece at that point, right?
And then you got to ride it out because you can't look like a failure if you just give it up. You got to be like, fuck it, I'm wearing it next year too.
I'm wearing it next year and the year after.
And then you can't just buy
wearing it till I patch it.
Yeah, and then you can't just buy a jacket the next year and keep the pants because it looks just insane. You might as well just keep both.
Or like polka dot jacket with striped pants. Yeah. Like, that shit clashes, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going for.
I'm
going for the clash.
There are clashes in art, I guess, right? Like are there certain rules? Like that's probably a very vague question.
I don't know. Just
paint what you feel.
Red and pink.
Right. Right. That's not even a thing anymore, right? Now it's red and pink.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure people are doing it just to clash.
Just red and pink on your. Is that red and pink on there? No, I guess it's just.
Yeah, you're asking your color deficient guy.
Oh, right. Red and green deficient. Red and green deficient. That's almost red and green. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know how long. How long have you been going for? Can you see on there?
53 minutes.
Oh, nice. Right in there.
Yeah.
It goes pretty fast.
Doesn't seem like that.
It goes pretty quick.
Yeah.
It goes pretty fast. Some days. Do you guys know Jenna May? She's
Yes.
So she was on my podcast, one of the first ones, and it was like 3 hours long. She was like showing me like Filipino food. We were eating like all these different kind of, and the pandesal. Have you guys had pandesal buns before?
No.
So they sell them downstairs at the Filipino store.
Ooh, we gotta get some.
They're like sugary. They run out fast, and they get the lady who runs it. She's like, these are the best ones. They're the most popular ones in Vancouver, and they're like. Anyway, what I'm getting at the time does go by fast, and that was one of my best podcasts. One of my favorite podcasts I've done because we just ate food, and she's big into ASMR, and she's like, crank up the gain and make it sound fun and gross. And so every time I do a food podcast, she's always like, the ASMR is not strong enough. Get closer to the mic. But yeah, it's just funny how it goes quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're having a bad time, it goes fast. I don't know why.
You know what? We're reading a book recently about time.
You read a book together, like side by side?
Well, sometimes we will read to each other at night.
Really?
Read a chapter.
Do you read stories?
Read a chapter.
Bedtime stories?
We read a couple stories, like Geek Love. We read.
Yeah, Geek Love by Catherine Dunn.
I don't know.
That's a great story, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Right, I'm gonna take a note of that.
But we reading a book about time, and that we all make our own time. We're makers of time. It's like never say that you don't have time for something because you can make time for that. Mm-hmm. You can make time for everything.
Right.
Time is really non-existence.
Isn't it a construct? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing we just happen to follow because we follow it.
Yeah.
Like why is the alphabet in the order it's in?
It's like, why didn't you have time to? What, you don't have time to give me a call? It's like, yeah, I have time to give you a call, but I decided not to. I didn't want to make that time.
That sounds so rude to say, but
we can make time.
Right.
We're time makers, all of us.
We do have a lot of allegiance to time. We definitely follow it closely. Like I feel like we're always like, what time is it? You wake up, what time is it? How long does it take? But like time helps when you're cooking an egg because you don't know what's going on inside of it. So you have to know that
3, 6, 9 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like the difference of hard boiled and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time you hard boiled an egg? No one does it anymore.
Maybe like a year ago for ramen.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever do you have a little poker?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So it's like when I was a kid, and it's like it relieves the pressure in the egg. So it's like a little like
I've never seen that.
You push the top down, but there's like a needle inside it. So you poke a hole in the bottom of the egg, so when you boil it, doesn't crack.
Oh.
And then it looks like a little bit spermy thing coming at the bottom, but it's like it keeps it from cracking.
Oh.
I've never done it since.
Doesn't putting the egg, if you put an egg in cold water and then turn the heat up to boil, that stops it from cracking too.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. It just takes longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, and
you have to account for that extra time.
That sound of the is kind of satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, why are we talking about eggs or time? Oh, time and eggs, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of time, what do you think is like the most your time in Whistler here? What do you think? Like, I mean, you've seen it come and go. A lot of things come and go. A lot of things change in town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually try to get too specific to Whistler, but we're both pretty. I've been here for like 20 years, I guess, which seems insane.
Yeah, you've been here a while too.
Yeah. What do you think's like the biggest? I don't know why I'm asking this question, but I want you to hear what your answer is. What do you think the biggest changes in your life that's been here since you've been here?
Biggest change. Well,
Are you like are you bummed the way it's going? Like I guess you haven't got up the mountain much, so like when you think about this town, I mean,
I spend a lot of time in the woods, wandering,
right,
picking mushrooms.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well,
I'm just not gonna answer your question.
That's fine. I'm gonna just cruise right.
No.
Do you?
I do. I spend a lot of time in the woods picking mushrooms,
right.
And I think my more recent art kind of reflects that.
Right.
Yeah.
More mellow, a little bit more.
And
like
biking and stuff too.
Yeah.
You're in the woods. And
right.
Like if I could go in the woods or in the village, I would go in the woods, wander around, smoke a doob, whatever.
Yeah. That's a good way to
get all zenned out. Forest bathing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's supposed to be like, you know Paul Stamets, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Not personally, but yeah,
I've done the times.
I've heard of him. I follow him on Instagram.
Well, they talk about like that underground, all the moss and mushrooms, like how like
the
mushrooms grow.
Mycelium and that,
have like that connection, like around the like everything's connected. They send signals, whatever else. So with a human walking through, forest gazing, I think in like Japan or Asian cultures, is like pretty, like it's like a, it's like you do and you get this connection. You come back. It's like wearing bare feet on the ground.
Yeah, getting grounded to the earth.
Yeah. And have you seen it's like good for your soul and good
Or
for
like
the,
lying on the moss, just
Yeah.
lying there. And
that's why walking barefoot in grass feels great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this thing called grounding, where you put like a fucking piece of tin foil in your bed and you run out the window and put a spike in the ground, and you run like a metal wire from the ground to your, so when you sleep you're grounded. Have you heard this before?
Oh,
I haven't
no.
tried it. I got like a third floor. It'd be too long of a wire, but
Yeah.
it seems it's
Does it
getting
actually
more popular,
work?
Dave. I don't know.
Does it actually work?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Hmm.
People who say it works, I'm suspect of them,
Yeah.
but I'm not against trying it.
Yeah. I'm not against trying it.
You know who Liver King is?
Yeah. Yeah.
He tries it. He does it. I don't know if I believe that guy. Yeah. Yeah, I think his town, I mean, I live in here, but things have changed for sure. And I'm just happy Function's around. I think happy Function's good. I think it's like, if we had like a late night, like, you know, whiskey bar or scotch bar, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I think we're good down here. I don't know.
Like you got to go into the cafe or whatever and knock 3 times on the door, and
Yeah.
a little window slides open.
Yeah.
Say the magic word. What's the
You
password?
got to bring a little, like a piece of cheese or something with you to like prove you got the password or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be awesome. Yeah,
And it's got to be Gruyere or something.
Stinky,
you know?
super stinky.
Yeah.
If anybody brings blue cheese, they're getting punched in the face. But yeah, I think, man, do they still do full moon parties around here? That's right. I think I've met you one time at a full moon party before.
Yeah, I've been to a few.
Yeah, recently.
No.
I just
I don't know if they're still having them or not.
That was the time, man. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a few questions like we've asked most of them. You got anything for me?
Nah.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you've been in Whistler 20 years,
yeah.
and you're going to be here like till you die.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
This
This has been a weird year for me. I've been kind of
Did you buy this place?
Yeah.
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 So you're a lifer then.
I don't know. I think this year is the less I go up the mountain.
Does it bum you out that you're not going up?
No. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Are you filling your time with other?
No, I've been pretty much very unproductive. It's been actually that's why I'm trying to get going again. Because I think this town kind of can take you up and down, and
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
you know, the comparative lifestyle's tough for sure. And I think I was so wrapped up in it for a long time, and then I jumped out of it, and then I didn't realize the decline it would take on what I thought I was doing here. So I think I'll be here for a while, though. I mean, I love living here. Checkmas is great. I can't move to a city.
Yeah.
It'd
Too
be
hard
weird
to get away from people.
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
know what you when you moved away. Do you go home to Ontario much?
Yeah, once every 3 years.
Yeah.
It used to be, and then when I met T, we've started going back every year, every 2 years,
Do
kind
you
of.
have family in Ontario too, or no?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they like Oakville.
Okay, right, yeah. So I grew up
Yeah.
in Barrie, just outside of Barrie,
Yeah.
like this farmland and stuff. But my family's between here and Costa Rica and Squamish. My mom's in Barrie still, but my friends, I've got a lot of good friends there. But I think one of these things I think about is when you leave your home, when you move away from your hometown, it's still always kind of your home. You don't think you're gonna, you just don't think you're actually leaving for good, right? But if I left here, I'd be like, this is my home. But I think if I left here, I'd have a hard time committing to it because I think I just wouldn't go back. So like I think about my hometown now, and like, you know, I have a pretty small family, and if once that's gone, will I ever go back? I have good friends there, but I go back to see family. My friends are like, I see them on the side. Hope you're not listening to this, but I love you guys. You're great. But like, you know what I mean? Just what draw to go back? So when that draw is gone, then
Yeah. The reason why I go back, or why I have been going back, is to see family.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when that draw's gone, then what does that do? And then if you leave, say you leave Whistler, I've tons of friends here. I think at least I do anyway. I think I do. You have tons of friends here, but then if you go, it's like, you know, I don't go back to see my friends back when I was my childhood friends. I would go back to see them often. So what would happen if I wasn't here? But also, I love the mountains and snow and skiing and stuff. I don't know where else I would go. I'd probably go to the same kind of place, maybe like a Nelson or somewhere just a bit smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, also 20 years. I don't just give up on 20 years. You know, just keep going. But
You don't want to be a quitter.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've always thought, like, where would I go if I was going to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
And before I kind of given the tattoo shop, I was thinking, you know, for 2 or 3 years, what's my next move? Where am I going to go?
Yeah.
And I thought Victoria, I didn't think a lot was happening there.
Right.
And being on the island, you're kind of stuck there, secluded, whatnot. And I didn't really know where.
Right.
So
Stayed here.
I just stayed here. And then the tattoo, like Robin retired, got pregnant, decided to have a family, and decided to retire from tattooing. So she left me the studio. She said, "You can have it, or I'm, closing it up." And I'm like,
wow,
"Oh,
really?
Yeah."
Damn.
I never thought in a million years that I'd own a tattoo studio in Whistler.
I think having a sense of purpose keeps you in place. Like right now, I've been kind of floating around for work and stuff, and I think the fact that I'm not sure what I want to do with my life as far as work and moving forward, I think that it's making me question my tie to a place. Mm-hmm. I've always had a job that, a job kind of keeps you to a certain spot. But I think about if I left what I do, I think that's probably what's going through the transition of where I'm like, hey, it's more of like what I'm doing with my life than it is location. But what I'm doing with my life is so tied to this location that it's like, you're really that tug and pull or tug and push, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And I think location has
I would go to
to do with it as well. Like
I would want sticker shock. I'd go to like New York and just fucking move like into the Bronx and just like, get some coffee, and fucking, go get some pizza, and then, just that would be cool to me. I don't know how long I'd last, but that would be like, I think going to a town like this, smaller, would be fun. But we talk about not going to the village. I love going into town and just seeing the chaos for once. Like I'm not, I joke about it, but I do actually like appreciate that you can just go and get amongst it and still be part of it. I think a small town would be cool. It might get bored, or might feel more secluded and do less maybe. But a few years ago, I was interviewing for a job that's in New York, and they were like based out of Dumbo, which is near Brooklyn. I was like, man, I would go. It'd be fucking cool, right? And then you'd leave this behind, but I would do that, or like a Tokyo. I wouldn't, like Vancouver to me is like, it's cool, but I don't know, it's not or Toronto, it's cool, but it's not like enough of a draw. But like London or somewhere just like, you're like, what the hell's going on here? It'd be
somewhere
awesome.
Massive, where there's a shitload going on, and you might not see that person again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You'd pass like 8 million people just crossing the street type thing, right? Like, haven't been to like New York and Tokyo and some of these bigger cities. I'm like, man, it's just like, you can just get distracted and never have to think about a thing. You just always, what's going on would be crazy. But I think it might probably wear on you for a while. But, you have diehard city folk who come here and go, I can't handle it. Or like, bug runs across the ground. Like, oh my God, what's that? But moving out of here would be tough. Even moving out of south of Whistler would be tough too. I like it down here. It's good. You can walk across, see guys like you, you.
If we moved to Alpine or something like, or Nordic, like, I could handle that.
Yeah. I've lived in Alpine for a while, and it's sick because the traffic's mellow.
Yeah.
Going back and forth. It's closer to the village. I could go skiing in the morning, and if you don't leave by 8:30 on a Friday or a Saturday, or if you don't leave by 7:30, you're in traffic until 9:30, right?
Yeah.
And then I refuse to pay for parking, so if I don't get to lot 6 or 7 or 8, I just turn around and come home.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck, it's brutal. But yeah. Well, Dave, thanks for coming on my show, man. It's been good to talk to you.
Yeah, Ryan, sure. Good to talk to you, man.
I hope we covered some stuff you're interested in talking about. Do you get asked a lot of the same shit all the time when people to ask you stuff like this?
Like through my work and stuff?
Yeah, just like...
Yeah, sometimes.
You can just say no.
It's kind of... It's all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the history stuff, I'd love to chat with you more about the history of Wizards, just what you're doing and stuff. That'd be fun.
I don't think I get asked enough about Function, and yeah.
It's just a cool spot. I mean, like, I don't know. I can't believe it's the only place you can go pretty much get your car worked on, except for like Mons Crossing up there with Sabre and stuff.
Yeah. I like Function because it's got a bunch of bike trails around. It's got the creek, Miller Creek, that meanders through it that a lot of people don't even know that it's there.
Yeah.
It's got, some little swimming holes and stuff. It's got cafes. It's got the cafes, restaurants.
It's kind of like the
little
Wild West of
shops
Whistler
and
still.
stuff. It's got like Garibaldi
Yeah.
graphics. You can get stuff printed there.
Yeah.
It's got some sign shops. Got Toad Hall Studios. Like, yeah, it used to have a yoga studio, which was awesome.
That
Did
Y
you ever
Yoga.
go there to Y
yeah.
Yoga?
Yeah, when I worked for Lulu,
Love
they
that
gave you,
place,
like,
man.
Yeah.
And then they closed down over COVID. So I'm hoping that another yoga
Studio.
shop or studio
The
would
whole
open up.
Industry took a bit of a hit back then, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was a cool spot for sure. I just think it's like you still have a street party. You can like it's like there's no one's really looking at it. You know, there's no like attention on it. Like I
Yeah.
think Creekside. I don't know. I don't like going there anymore. But like it's got Function just got like still like a real like chill local vibe that no one's really fucking with it yet.
Yeah, the Muni doesn't want to do anything with it
No.
either. I used to get asked, like, often, like, where do you live? Function. Why do you live there? Why do you want to live there? What's
That's
in Function?
For that, because
like,
that response
okay,
drives you nuts.
that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
That
yeah, because
response-
no one else wants to live there.
Yeah. I didn't think I would. And then I'm like, it's cool. And I sometimes I wish there was more down here, but then I'm like, if there was, there'd be more people. Like this
Yeah.
zone here is getting, it's
It's going to get busy. Check
Yeah.
miss. It's going to get big.
Yeah, that's one thing
yeah.
I think about too.
Yeah.
Because I've been down here since it started, and this was the first 4 buildings, and it was just like no one down here. Now you see
Yeah.
tour buses come by and take photos of that little Inukshuk there,
Oh, really?
and I'm like,
Yeah.
And I love kids, but there's a daycare right there.
Mm-hmm.
I like quietness too,
Yeah.
and like for some reason,
Wait
glass-
till closer to the river. Checkmiss River is developed.
Have you seen back there? Have you walked back there? How far back it goes?
It's big.
Like
I know that.
Loggers Lake is going to be probably a fucking paved valley trail to it at some point. I'd imagine soon. It's
yeah.
busy back there. Yeah, for sure.
But
I wish
no,
they bring
I'm,
the fucking
I'm
asphalt
talking
plant
about
back and get
I'm
it all shut
talking
down
about
again.
the other way.
Like down by
What are you
James
looking
Lake
now?
there?
Yeah, that's a dog park right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that way,
Oh, across the highway?
towards the highway, towards the river.
Oh, where
they're
got, like, all that-
flattening
Yeah.
all that.
That'll be huge, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be developed too.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to develop all the way like south as well for
Well,
a
it
bit.
does go super far
like
back.
Jane Lakes, not
Yeah.
to
No,
Jane Lakes,
well, that'd be
but
insane. That'd be like,
yeah,
it's like an hour drive.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's going pretty far back. It's, even if you just go back there now, mountain biking back there and stuff, like by like LSD and like old Black Shark. Have you been
Yeah.
on Black Shark?
I've been LSD.
Black Shark is awesome. I can remember mine. I'll tell you up there.
Yeah,
Black Shark sucks. Don't go there.
there's a lot of new trails around though that
Yeah,
are
it's
awesome.
sick.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna get busier for sure. And at that whole like corner gas station thing they're building there.
Yeah, and Function
It's
there.
gonna
Yeah,
happen there,
yeah,
It's coming, but at
Yep.
least it's still we got time.
yeah,
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, buddy.
yeah.
That was great. Good
You're
chat.
welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve, for coming and hanging out with us. Thanks, Frang. Thanks for not clanking your nails on the ground. Yeah, until next time. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Hour 11. Nice.